Throughout the briefing, Beale keeps repeating this phrase.
The sword that kills is the sword that gives life.
The sword that kills is the sword that brings life.
Which essentially means that we need to kill in order to live. Not very subtle, it's very much the CRM's kind of whole philosophy. After declaring that Carl and Michonne were the ones who brought him back, Rick repeats Beale's own words to him as he kills him with his own sword.
We're the sword that kills. We're the sword that gives life. One unstoppable life.
This was part of his and Michonne's final speech during the series finale of the main show, and I really like that they referenced it here. The whole thesis of the main show's finale, specifically that final montage, is that love is the reason we survive. With Towel being described as a love story, it kinda makes sense that they would go with this angle. It truly does feel like it's trying to be the finale of The Walking Dead, since not only is it trying to give a conclusion to Rick's character by calling back to his most important moments and showing how he's changed, but it's also thematically consistent with the main show. And then they fucking ruin it. Just when I thought this was leading up to one of the best moments in the entire Walking Dead franchise, Rick ends it with this.
We're not dead. You are.
Man, you know, they were doing so good. But they just had to drop the ball right at the end there. Now, personally, if I was writing the scene, I would have changed that last line to be what I thought it was building up to. We are not the Walking Dead. Or, even better, we are the ones who live. I know it's a little corny to do a title drop like that, but if this is going to be the conclusion to Rick Grimes' arc, then he needs to come to these same conclusions that he does in the comics. Which, admittedly, he does do in the show, but the way they show it is just kind of very annoying. We are not the Walking Dead is an important moment for Rick, showing that he has realized how the world needs to stop focusing on doing heinous shit just for survival, and instead focus on uniting people under love and understanding. Telling Beale, who essentially just threatened the entire world, that his plans aren't going to work because love is more powerful than cold-hearted practicality, would have been peak Rick Grimes. But instead, we get, we're not dead, you are. Which is such a generic line that I was like high-key kind of mad when I first heard it. This whole finale, and to a lesser extent most of The Ones Who Live, felt like it was building up to that line, to we are not The Walking Dead. But instead, we get this cheesy action movie bar that kind of feels like it misses the point. I mean, I guess we're not dead, you are can kind of get the same idea across if you squint hard enough, but it's a rare instance of Gimple and the writers being too subtle. Like, you can almost tell that they wanted to say we are not The Walking Dead, but decided they couldn't because Daryl already did it on the main show, so instead they toned it down. Like, nah dude, this is an instance where you should be as obvious as possible with what your message is. This is the theme of the entire fucking franchise, and we're just kind of skirting around it here.